And hello, my fellow nerds out there. This is Oracle Nerd here, and welcome back once again to our Wonderland Remastered Steam release. Last, last time we got started with Arc 4. We're here with Gidget on our little dinner date, I suppose. And I've actually decided to ask her just what about what you said back in the car? Or, like like I want to say sounds amazing, but we gotta face reality a little bit. Some of what she says makes me twitch. Like a weird wriggling worm in the back of my brain. A nagging shadow of guilt. What about what about what you said back in the car? Hmm? She cocks her head to the side. I mean, now I'm starting to feel awkward. Maybe I shouldn't even say anything. She she looks so happy now after all. But at this point, I've already brought it up. So running a shaking hand through my hair, I continue. About not knowing who you are anymore. Like if this is really what you want to do. And who you want to be, my mind continues, though the words stop short on my tongue. She simply stares at me for a moment, and I see the side of her mouth twitch ever so slightly. But then their smile returns, a little bit too wide. Oh, that? A laugh. That was, just me overthinking things like normal. I do that a lot, especially when I get kind of down, you know? But, yeah, I mean, now that I'm here, I've got it all figured out. I know exactly who I am. Now it's my turn to cock my head. You do? Of course! She slaps her hands in emphasis. Everybody here, they showed me. Show me how beautiful I really am. Show me that this is who I'm meant to be. They all love me so much, Iggy. They make me feel like some kind of goddess. And now, she starts before suddenly going shy, gaze falling to the table. And now I can see why. I thought that this place had already granted me everything I wanted, but perhaps my greatest wish is still yet to come. Her gaze tilts back up, eyes straight at me, through me. I feel a strange shiver run up my spine. I stuff a fork full of veggies in my mouth. To be honest, I always think about you during my shoots. Want to make you proud? I've been wanting to see you to see me so bad, to see what I've been able to do here. My face is starting to grow warm. I want to show you how beautiful I've become. She looks down at this, her own cheeks going pink. So I could be your angel. Probably choking the green bean. Eyes watering, I thump at my chest. Iggy? The screeching halt of the violin. Gidget jumps half up her seat and Cecil music comes to a tonal halt. I sputter out a series of flummy calls before I finally able to expel the bean from my throat, sending it flying back to my plate with a gooey flop. Gidget smiles nervously, forcing a chuckle. Are you, okay? Sorry, yeah, just, went down the wrong tube. I reach immediately for the wine glass, down about half of it in one gulp. Gidget sits back down, and Cecil sits back to the violin with a look of resentment in my direction. All I can do is stare down at my half-chewed beans sticking out of my mashed potatoes. This is going to be a long night. Tell me about it, eggs. Fortunately, the rest of dinner goes by without much fanfare. We talk about her shoots, what else she's been doing down here, which brings up the topic of Orlum. Oh right, Orlum's here, isn't he? But like everything at this point, this comes at no surprise. Of course Orlum's here. What else would he be? Gidget recounts the tale of one of his castle parties and grandiose pageantry. It's weird listening to her tell it. Almost like I can picture it in my mind. See him in my mind. She describes him dancing. I can feel us dancing. My fingers between his hand on my hip. It's a strange sensation. And I'm all of a sudden overcome with guttural sense of loneliness. As though a piece of myself is missing. A piece that fits nicely, curled up against my side. Tuft of orange hair tickling my bare arm. I shake my head to dispel the thoughts. This is getting weird. But at this point, I've stopped questioning just about everything. When Gidget asks what's wrong, I simply laugh it off. Laugh him off. Right, it's nothing. None of that is real. Gidget is real, in front of me, looking at me, waiting for my answer. It's right. I need to tell her. But no matter how hard I try, the word gets stuck in my throat. Would you still want to be my angel if you knew? The smile on my lip quivers. Knew what I'd never be able to do for you? Thinking about the answer shames me. My throat clenches even tighter around the words. Once dinner is finished, we leave Cecil to clean up the table and start back for the inn. We take the roundabout way up though, the winding roads, just gazing up at the lights and the dark expanse of sky. At some point, Gitch's hand finds mine. I don't pull away. Her fingers are soft in mine, warm, secure, a comforting presence, keeping me tied to reality and free from the cloying grip of my self-doubt. When she smiles at me, something unclenches inside my chest, and I feel at home. I'm near the top of the hill, back at the main square. I can see the inn just on the other side. Our walk will be over soon. Our talk will be over soon. I haven't told her yet. My heart starts to pick up again. I have to do it now. But the thought of light vanishing from her face, the fingertips slipping from mine, never to reach out for them again, steals the words every time they dance across my tongue. Iggy? I feel her come to a stop, so I stop, too, looking back at her. Hmm? She looks at me, at the ground. I feel her fingers tighten around mine. I'm sorry, she finally says. For what? For that day back in the car. She presses her lips together. It it feels like forever ago to me, but there's hasn't been a day when I haven't stopped thinking about it. Haven't regretted it. I shouldn't have pushed myself onto you like that. I just her shoulders start to shake. Then I see the tears come. First tiny sparkles that dance on her eyelashes, then morphing into rivers that wind down her cheeks. Hey, hey, hey. I reach out forward before I have a chance to think about it, pulling her into my arms. She buries her head in my shoulders. I'm so scared, Iggy. Scared of what? I feel like if I lose you, I lose everything. This makes my brows furrow. I sit on this a moment, pondering it. Then slowly, why would you say something like that? She shows her face in my fabric white shirt, leaving streaks of snot and tears. I don't know. I don't know. It's stupid. I just feel so lost sometimes. But not when I think of you. When I think of you, everything makes sense. A pause. I feel like you're my one chance. A sniff. The only one who could like someone like me. Gidget. Just so desperately want to make you happy. To be perfect for you. So we can have the perfect life. Something twists inside of me. I'm not sure if it's related, but the residual guilt is building in my gut. The fact that her words hit terrifyingly close to feelings I've entertained myself, or something else entirely. I pull back with a frown. And as she looks down at me, her eyes watery and streaked. I feel every muscle move on instinct, almost like I'm being pulled by some invisible force. I reach forward, lifting my toes ever so slightly. Aww. I press my lips to hers. Her eyes open wide at first, then squeeze tight, tears flooding the corners as her arms go around my neck. Fuck, it feels good. Holding each other like this, her lips wonderful against mine, sweet against mine, washing everything else away. And when I pull back and see her cheeks rosy, her mouth cocked in that usual off-kilter grin of hers, I can't help but think that she's the cutest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. She brings a hand up to wipe at her eyes to a flummy chuckle. God, look at me. It's okay. I probably don't look much better myself. Silence settles over us as we simply stand there, identical awkward grins on our faces. What do I do now? I've never been in this situation before. Does she expect me to do something? Say something? Putting my hand on my forehead, feeling sweaty again. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. I finally say, voice cracking. It's okay. I am too, honestly. Gidget brings her hands up for a little wave, her gaze dropping in nervous uncertainty. Do you want me to walk you home? I glance around, suddenly feeling quite stupid. Not that I know where home is. Kids just last. It's just that little house down the road. The people here got it ready for me a little while after I arrived. All right then. I'll walk you to your little house down the road. I say with an undoubtedly dorky grin, then refind her hand. I would be delighted if you would walk me there. Walk me there, good sir. She gives a little half bow, half curtsy thing with a snorted laugh. Oh, cute. Then the two of us are making our way along back down the path, interlocked hands swinging between the like high school sweethearts. For once, for once, I feel fucked. Fucking fuck. I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her. I stared at the ceiling in the back of my room in the inn, fingers clenching at my cheeks, pulling down the skin around my eyes. I had one thing I needed to do, and I couldn't even do that. If anything, I probably just made it worse because now she has like expectations. Now she's going to assume things of me, hope things of me, and I'm going to let her down. Oh fuck, am I gonna let her down? I roll over onto my side, bringing my knees against my chest. Fuck, fuck, fuck. She's going to hate me. I'm going to break her heart. Already the telltale heat is building up beneath my eyes, tears prickling the corners. And the nausea is back with a vengeance. Cruel and bitter as it eats away at my heart. Before I could completely lose myself to my misery, however, there's a knock on the door. I blink my eyes. Sit up. Could who could? I wipe my face, erase the blurry traces of tears, push myself to my feet. But I'm taking a step towards the door. A wave of deep, guttural fear washes through me. I stop. Why does opening the door suddenly feel like an incredibly bad idea? I look down to see my fingers shaking. And when I swallow, my throat feels unbearably tight. Cold steel. Pressed against my neck, snipping. But I shake my head. Will await the thoughts. Stupid, stupid. I step towards the door and turn the knob. Get? But I stop before I can finish. It's not Gidget. It's Genzo! Genzo! My boy! And looking mildly shell-shocked too, as though he just forgot everything he was about to say. Is all he can manage is side twitching. What is it? I try to run a hand through my hair. He bites out on his lip with a frown. Looks up, down, and finally breaks out an overly wide grin. How'd it go, huh? I wince. This is not really what I need right now. But at the same time, familiar company does seem more preferable than drowning in my thoughts. I nod, I nod for him to come in with a little grunt. He steps inside almost nervously, looking around the room as he smooths down his jacket. It went great. And horrible. I finally say with a sigh. He pops down on the bed. That's when we learn individuals like to call an oxymoron eggs. I didn't tell her. Ark. You didn't tell her? No. I sink down next to him before falling flat on my back, hands to my face. I chickened out, okay? I just couldn't do it. He looks back at me, eyes tight, then brings the hand to my knee with a reassuring squeeze. It's okay. These things take time sometimes. I just groaned. His words provide me no comfort. I couldn't stop thinking about how she'd hate me once I told her. That I'd ruin everything. That she wouldn't be able to look at me the same way anymore. There's a long pregnant pause after this. Gizo seems to be looking at the far wall. Silent. Still. So still, in fact, that if it weren't for the gentle rise and fall of his shoulders, I would have sworn he died right there in his introspection. He shifts again, finally flops on his back next to me. Both of us just staring up at the ceiling. Aww, so cute! I see him open his mouth. Close it. I have something I've never told someone too. Really? You? I laugh in spite of myself. You've always said the first thought that pops into your head. This makes him smile. Hey, I don't deny that. More silence. I toss a curious glance at him. He's got his lips pressed together and is blinking just slightly too rapidly. He says, voice cracking. Then he shifts his hand over on top of my forearm, fingers curling around it softly. He goes still again, just lying there, stomach moving up and down with his breath. I feel his fingers, they leave clammy dents atop my skin. Hear him swallow. Then his grip loosens and he gives my arm a little pat, almost as though praising a dog that's just performed an impressive trick. Just don't be like me, he says finally, though his voice is noticeably strained. I throw another glance at him, but his gaze is pointed upwards. All, all that for that? I cock a brow. This makes him laugh. You know me. I'm a sucker for theatrics. More like you're just weird. That too. I let my gaze return to the ceiling. Now both of us are just staring up at it again, when an expanse of white overhead, that threatening to swallow us whole. I poke at my eggs, watching the yolk run over the pocked white fluff. It mixes with the bacon and hash browns with a molten yellow lava. I fork off a piece of egg white, and stir it slowly in the slop. Then toss a glance at Genzo, sitting kitty corner from me at the table, and currently stuffing about 5 slices of bacon into his mouth at the same time. You eating that or creating an abstract masterpiece? He says through flecks of crispy char. I grunt something incoherent, then lift a piece of egg into the air and scrutinize it like a laboratory specimen. No, not super hungry, I guess. Yeah, because someone got to hog out on a highfalutin consume comestibles all evening. Other less fortunate souls at the table had to make do with His Royal Majesty's table scraps. You said Mrs. Graham made you some hamburger pie. Kenzo raises a finger, lowers it. That's beside the point. I'm talking about the unfair disparity here, Iggs. Unfair disparity. He pokes a finger into his palm with each syllable. We're seated at one of the tables on the ground floor of the inn. It's mostly empty, just a few other patrons partaking in their morning refections. Though Mrs. Graham is making sure everyone stays topped up on coffee and juice. I finally bring the dripping morsel of egg to my mouth, grinding the pulpy whiteness between the back molars. It's at that moment that the front door slams open. Good morning! I guess I just jump to my kneecap, whacks it against the table, and I lose my grip on the fork. It falls to the floor with a clatter. Gidget walks over and Cecil behind her as usual as I scrounge around for it. Okay, wait. She looks adorable. I love it. You're in a good mood, Genzo muses as he wipes off his mouth. I'm in a fantastic mood. Gidget takes a seat opposite to the floor, opposite us, with a flourish resting her chin across her intertwined fingers. She's got a different dress on, a green one this time. Green? Okay, I know a lot of people like to say that this shade of color is like, oh, it's like a Bulbasaur green, like Bulbasaur from Pokemon, like the same kind of green shade. No, that is not green. That is blue. That is as blue as you can. That is closer to blue than it is to green. Like, I don't know why people keep thinking it's green. With a matching hat obscuring the blonde crown of her head. And why shouldn't I be? This is a time for celebration, no? Celebration? I ask, my fingers finally wrapped around the handle of the fork. I sit back up, look back and forth between Gidget and Cecil, who's standing morosely behind her, his hands behind his back. What for? Gidget's cheeks flush, and she turns her gaze downward. Well, you know, for this and that. But the scene snap back. But mostly to celebrate your arrival, of course. Isn't that a reason enough to celebrate? She waves a flippant hand back at Cecil. Show him, Cecil. Play the horn of celebration. The horn of celebration? Cecil pulls what looks like a rubber car horn out of his pocket and gives it a squeeze with a look of barely constrained self-loathing. He just sounds like a dying goose. He looks like he wants to be a goose right now. Just he literally has the look of kill me, please. chunk of bacon drops out again in his mouth. Hey, now that it's been decided, let's get going. Gidget launches herself back up the table. Hold your fucking horses there, Missy. Gidget says between his calls. Where are we going exactly? He's right, this is a little, sudden? I try to cut in. The girdle of unease is back and playing jump rope in my intestines. The Gidget in front of me now seems quite a bit more emphatic? Just mean empathetic or something? Emphatic. I've never heard that word before. Than the one from the night prior. We only just got here. Brigitte ignores me, donning her sunglasses as she starts with the door. Why the only place befitting such a grand occasion? The castle across the lake! 5 minutes later sees us on the pier, crowd around the ramp leading to a fabulous ornate sea craft. Holy pee-hole of Poseidon. We're going in this? Giza lifts the brim of her hat with a gaze at a good ship. How is she supposed to cross the water? This is my personal yacht, after all. And then with a chuckle, or would you prefer a tiny sailboat for two? There's something about the way she says that gives me pause, but I ignore it, instead squinting as I let my eyes pan the horizon in search of spires. Eggs, Gizo hisses next to me. When I don't turn around and look right away, he gives my shirt a tug, jerking it down to his level. Is any of this, I don't know, ringing any alarm bells for you? Not alarm bells, perhaps, but he does have a point. Though the yacht itself is certainly new, the idea of crossing this lake isn't. Nor is the thought of what lies beyond it. I find myself strangely torn between the feeling of homecoming and feeling of panic-inducing dread. I feel like we don't really have much choice. Maybe you don't, because you got yourself a goo eye from Miss American Pie over here. But I've still got at least some of my wits about me. And they're currently screaming at me if I want to live, I need to about face my ass pronto. Okay, now you're just being a bit dramatic. Dramatic? You don't sense the boner from murder rising to full salute on the other side of that lake? I finally put myself to a grip, smoothing down the shirt from my shirt. Out of his grip, smoothing down my shirt. Kid already told me, it's just Orlum. Guess he holds a lot of parties or something. Okay, so a freckled boner, then. Orlum would never do anything? Yeah, no. As the last few loops that we have been, of course he would do something. I get it, I do. I haven't been able to shake the weird feelings since we got here. And it feels like, I don't know, everything is pulling us towards that castle, whether we want to go or not. It's a bit worrying. I throw a glance across the water, squinting against the sun. Right, so let's just give this one a pass, eh? Maybe chill out here a few days and pack it up. I've already had my fill in this place anyway. Who needs magical land of wishes when you've got 2 pounds of your mom's frozen dumplings sitting in your freezer back home, eh? But somehow, despite what I said, his words passed in one ear and out the next. In a hurry, I'm walking away, falling in line behind Cecil, who's hauling 2 giant suitcases up a ramp onto the boat. I don't blame Genzo for being anxious. I'm already anxious enough for the 2 of us. But I don't want to make Gidget mad, considering how keen she seemed on this. Besides, she seems to know what she's doing, and she knows a whole lot more about this place and what's happened to this place than either of us. If anything were to happen, she'd keep us safe. Safe? That was a weird word to use. Smooth things over. Yeah, that's better. She'd smooth things over, no matter what happened. Hey, come up here to the front. Most stuff on cue, I hear Gidget call from the other side of the boat. Oh, sure. Give me a sec. I make it to the top of the ramp and step onto the deck, taking a moment to get used to the way it bows ever so slightly beneath my feet. Before continuing, I throw a quick glance at Genzo, who's still just standing at the bottom of the ramp, brows crinkled in concern. He seems to be suffering some deep-rooted internal conflict. Finally, however, he grumbles something beneath his breath and scuttles up the ramp after me. I'm only doing this for you, he mutters with a pout. Come on, it'll be fine. I hope. The last part didn't quite make it past my tongue. It doesn't take long for us to leave the port. After a few last checks to ensure we're seaworthy, then the little yacht is slicing through the cerulean landscape like a knife through butter, leaving nothing but a trail of white surf behind. Soon there's nothing but blue as far as the eye can see. How long till we make it across? I asked Cecil in what makes me feel like a perfectly reasonable question. He, however, just glares at me and stomps down the stairs to the yacht's interior. I stare at his retreating form in confusion. Was it something I said? Rather than let myself worry too much on this matter, however, I elect instead to explore the yacht. First the upper deck, walking from the bow to stern, back again, my hand tracing the railing. Then down inside. It's larger than I expected, complete with small dining area, a kitchen, a room to lie down in, and a walk-in closet. And fancy too, from the rich mahogany window frames to the marble tables and countertops. On my way back to the steps, I catch what sounds like Cecil talking to Gidget. I really must insist you wear something else. What are you talking about? This is perfect. Iggy will love it. And you do everything he wants, is that it? Cecil, we're not having this conversation. I only want what's best for you. This isn't you. Oh, you know exactly who I am and what I want now, is that it? That that's not what I'm implying. I make it to the top of the steps, and both of them turn around. Gidget's wearing oh fuck, Gidget's wearing the tiniest swimsuit I've ever seen. Almost on cue, I feel beads of sweat begin dotting my neck and hairline. And a cold snake feels like it's winding itself up inside my belly. Mickey! Gidget gives a delightful squeal and launches herself towards me. Her arms go around my neck and, in a hug, squeezes her body against mine. My, fe- my feeling of cold discomfort increases by 300%. Fortunately, she doesn't stay long. She pulls away instead of spinning around the shelf every angle of her immodest swim accoutrements. What do you think? It's quite small. You look great. I mean, you kind of have to say you look great. Not only is it technically the truth, it's polite at least. An uncomfortable feeling as uncomfortable as I'm feeling, I know I need to say something, and not just anything, the right thing. Cheeks on fire, I bring a hand to my mouth and mask my look of distress. Great, you look great. She just smiles even wider at this, her face beaming. I knew you would think so. Even as I was packing, all I was thinking about was how much you loved this. And all the other outfits I had packed too. You're the only one who appreciates how hard I try. Cecil over here has no idea what he's talking about. I throw a glance at the man in question, who returns the look with a glare so full of vitriol, my dick feels like it retracts up between my legs. Gidget ignores this. She grabs my hand and starts pulling me towards the front of the boat. Come on, I was gonna do some sunbathing. She leads me up to the bow of the ship, where a few loungers have already been laid out. I plows down the nearest one, pulling me down beside her on the flowery cushion. It'll be a few hours until we get there. Might as well use it to our advantage, right? The sun is out here is glorious. It's certainly bright. I still have my face half turned away. My whole body feels like it's burning, and not just from the gleaming rays of the sun. Oh gosh, we need to make sure you don't get burned though. Gidget laughs said, then turns to Cecil, her hand outstretched. Cecil! He responds bitterly but obediently, fetching what looks like a bottle of sunscreen from nearby cabinetry and offering it to Gidget. Here, Gidget smiles shyly, squeezing some out of her hand and rubbing it between her palms. It burns so easily. It's dangerous. She raised her hand to my face, rubbing the lotion across my cheeks, nose, forehead, and chin, then moving down to my neck and collarbone. I sit there, somewhat numb amidst her ministrations, not saying a word, not really able to say a word. The touch itself isn't bad. In fact, it feels quite nice. Her hands are warm and soft, and up-down motions, lightly kneading my skin, are surprisingly calming. When she moves my arms, I actually notice myself starting to enjoy it. My eyes when her clothes, relaxing, reassuring. Maybe I do like touch? Some touch? This kind of soothing touch. Safe. In fact, it feels so good that when she finally pulls her hand away, I find myself wanting to whine in displeasure. Wanting to return to that wonderfully tranquilizing cocoon. Until, now you do me. My eyes pop back open. And the tendrils of panic begin to respawn my bowels. What? My voice cracks. I don't want to get burned either, especially not before tonight. She throws me a wink, then turns around, her back to me, and her hands lifting her hair to reveal her bare back and shoulders. Uh, I I swallow. Glance at Cecil, who continues to simply stare at me in resentment. Like, I don't understand why he's staring at me in resentment. Like, what? Like, does he hate us? Like, I never understood why in the original story why Cecil hates us for no reason. Then back. I pick up the bottle of sunscreen, my fingers shaking. Come on. I squirt it into my palm and slide my fingers through it. My my throat feels tight, so fucking tight to the point I can't swallow. Oh, yep, there's the blurring vision. There's the blurring vision. I was waiting for that. I bring my hands to her shoulders, then begin spraying it around. It's awkward and stilted and bumbling, my fingers jerking the lotion in haphazard streaks across her shoulders, down the length of her back and arms. It's a strange feeling. My fingers running across her skin, feeling her skin, and I'm hyper aware of every single spot, splotch, and blemish decorating the expanse of her glistening softness. Is this okay? I managed to ask despite the vise around my voice box. It feels good. A pause, then. Do my front too. Do my front too? Uh. My voice hitches. Fuck. I clench my eyes shut and open them again. Fuck. Okay. Squirt more into my palms. This is. This is what she wants. This is what I need to do. Need to be able to do. Or let's chill. I cough. Take a deep breath, then reach again for her shoulders. This time let my hand slide forward. Oh, yep, and blurring even more. At this point, Iggy is legally blind. Dipping downward, across her collarbone, fingers sliding across her skin, lower and softer now. My fingers sinking into her. The chills are sweeping up and down my body now. Even under the beating sun, I feel so cold my teeth could start chattering any second. Gidget murmurs beneath my touch. The sound of it jolts me with such force that my finger dips all the way down into her suit top. I jerk backwards and my fingertips on fire. Shit. My chest feels like it's caving in on itself. Gidget turns around, her face pictured with worry. Is everything okay? I start before quickly finding my tongue. Then she turns to a sock. Before my tongue has turned into a sock. Tell her. Tell her. You have to say it. But I don't. I can't. I bring a hand to my forehead, fingers pushing back against my clammy bangs. I think maybe the sun is getting to me. Oh no! Gets his hands go to my cheeks, thumbs forging divots in the skin. It should be cooler downstairs. Maybe go lie down for a bit. You can rest until we get there. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I stand up with a wobble. Sorry, hope that was good enough. I did my head heading towards my clavicle, shame searing in my cheeks. Anyway, but I don't know how to finish. So instead, I simply turn away, gaze pointed downwards, and make a beeline towards the stairs. I don't even notice Genzo until I ram him to the shoulder. Sorry. Whoa, hey, everything okay? I don't respond. Instead, just shaking my head before disappearing downstairs. Genzo worried gaze at my back the whole way down. The interior is wonderfully cool and dim compared to the sun on the deck. I head straight for the back, towards one of the small rooms in the rear that's been furnished with a miniature living area, complete with daybed. Once inside, I close the door behind me and collapse face first into the bed. Fuck. Every nerve of my body still feels electrified. My chest is finally starting to unclench itself. I give myself a moment before kicking off my shoes and rolling onto my side, arms around my knees. Breathe. Just breathe. I close my eyes, relishing in the quiet, in the darkness of the room. There's a hesitant knock at the door. Iggs? You okay? I can barely hear Genzo's voice. Yeah, I'm fine. Just need to be alone for a bit. Okay. There's a soft bump in the door giving a little shudder, almost as if he's pressed his forehead against the surface. I'll be here if you need anything. Thanks. It goes quiet. The silence is like a heavy blanket draped across my curled form. I let out a deep breath of air that feels like as though it's been stocked up inside my lungs for days. That's right. Everything's fine. You're fine. I let myself uncurl slightly, pressing my face into the pillow. It pokes the frames of my glasses up against the bridge of my nose, so I slide them off with a sigh. My gaze goes to my hands, and I still feel the heat. The softness pressed up against my fingers. I find myself curling my fingers, though holding a ball, my mouth twitches. I'd never seen Gidget in that little clothing before. Never touched her like that before. In fact, until this moment, I had always thought that Gidget didn't really want to emphasize those parts of herself. Not that there's anything wrong with wanting to do so, of course, but it's just never seemed. I only want what's best for you. This isn't you. I furrow my brows. I hate them, Iggy. I hate them. Press my lips together. It had been raining that day. That's right. A rainy Saturday afternoon. You actually want to know something funny? It's actually raining outside right now as I'm recording this episode. Just hanging out at Gidget's house, watching recorded episodes of Toonami. Ooh, Toonami? Okay, wait. You got good taste, my man, Iggy. Really good taste indeed. Toonami is a really good way to start off your Saturday night. Dueling on our GBA, dueling on the Game Boy Advances. Wait, dueling how? Like Pokemon or Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh? Or actually, it could be Mega Man. Wait, did Mega Man have Game Boy Advance games? I don't know. Playing half a game of Star Wars Monopoly before getting bored, and instead sending the little figures on a secret mission to the basement. As the afternoon goes on, we start dropping off. First Bucks curled up in Gidget's dad's armchair, then Orlum, his face buried into the couch cushions, and finally even Getzo, at first making a joke about using Orlum's butt as a pillow, then actually dozing off there, drool leaking down the side of his face. I'm hungry. You want to eat some? You want something to eat, Iggy? Gidget's lying in the middle of the room, just staring up at the ceiling amongst the Monopoly pieces. But she sits up at this, tossing a glance in my direction. Oh, sure. They were headed off towards the kitchen. Gidget's dad seated in the kitchen table reading a newspaper. And Gidget's mom is cutting out coupons. Gidget opens up the pantry using the step stool to reproduce a selection of snacks on one of the higher shelves. But she reaches up the hem of her shirt lifts and reveals her belly, as well as the band of her underwear. Her mom glances up, her eyes narrow. What the hell are you wearing? This throws Gidget off guard, and she immediately falls back on her heels. Huh? But her mom is already to her feet. In 2 steps, she's to her. She yanks her shirt up to another look. Are these boys' underwear? No? Gidget looks away. Don't lie to me, young lady. Maybe? Gidget's mom lets out an exasperated groan. I thought you were past this phase. And when are you gonna grow up? It's not a phase. I like it, Mom. Gidget shouts back, tears springing to her eyes. But now her mom is focused on something else. A little hanging strip of clothing poking out beneath the hem of her shirt. What the hell is this? She shows Gidget's shirt all the way up, revealing it looks like an ace bandage wrapped around her chest. Gidget jerks back down and reaches out of reach, and with a tearful yelp, tugging her shirt back down. Stop it! You take that off right now. What the fuck is wrong with you? Dave, tell her to take it off. She can wear what she wants to, Patty. See? Look at that. Father of the year right here, people. Father of the year. Why the hell would you wear something like that? I just want to. Leave me alone. You want everyone to think you're some kind of freak? I didn't raise my daughter to be a freak. I hate you. Gidget comes running out of the room, a fit of sobs, her arms clutched around her chest. I stand there for a moment, completely silent. Then I take off after her. She runs out the door into the rain. Gidget! I try calling, but she doesn't stop. She runs down the sidewalk to the end of the block into a little grove of trees separating her neighborhood from the one over. I chase after her, my feet slapping against the puddles and sending cold splashes of water up onto my legs. When I finally catch up to her, she's huddled beneath an old oak with her arms wrapped around her knees, mud streaking her shoes and shorts. I walked over out of breath and dropped to a seat beside her. Aww. I don't say anything. The rain is lighter in here, sheltered by the trees, but the occasional drop still hits my head, and gooey slick puddles decorate my muddy path. I hate them, Iggy. I hate them. She finally says, barely audible between her knees. I'm not sure what she's talking about at first. I bring my own knees into my chest, curling my chin on top. I just wish I could rip them off. Oh. I blink. Let my gaze fall. Pitter patter, the rain is falling up a nearby leaf, forming a tiny lake of water at its center. I don't know what to say. What do I say? How can I make her feel better? These types of situations are so confusing to me. Dealing with people is so confusing to me. I bite down my lip. I think they're nice? Gita doesn't say anything. Instead, she pushes her face into her knees harder. I wince. That must have been the wrong thing. Now I really don't know what to do. So rather than screw things up any further, I simply scooch towards her, one arm around her shoulders as I huddle up beside her. I stay with her until she stops crying. Aww. That makes me actually, like, honestly, I really like moments like this in the story because it makes you like sure, a couple of the characters do something very horrible things during the game, but the moments like these make you see a little bit of light, a little glimmer of hope that they're actually not as bad as you think they are. Our rival on the other side of the lake is, well, it's something. And we pull into the port of a small castle town. Alright, I think that is actually a good time to wrap this video up for now. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!